The grind continues for today's doubleheader. It's the men of the PGJC Navy against the Signal Super Spikers live here inside the Paco Arena. Both squads faced heavy losses with the recent 4-setter upset of the Super Spikers against the King Crunchers, and the FEUD and Steel serving the PGJC Navy similarly a 4-set loss. The silver lining here is both teams are now banking on their maturity with veteran players such as Peter Kiel, who stepped up with 12 points in their last match, and of course, Steven Rotter, who delivered a whopping 22 points. The two veteran-composed squads now meet again for the first time only here where power meets passion. Spikers start.
Coming to you from the Paco Arena, the Signal Super Spikers looking for a bounce-back performance here today as they take on an opponent that is dangerous, not because of their record, but because of the desperation that they will play with in this matchup, looking for their first win of the tournament. We welcome you inside the Paco Arena as we continue with your 2025 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference. Signal Super Spikers going up against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, and that is our matchup on tap for today. As we thank you once again for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamintuan with Coach Ronnie Magsanok on the call. Miss Denise Valdesancho is our courtside reporter. Coach Ronnie, it's just a different feel for Signal when they're coming off a loss. You know that they are raring to get back into the right track.
But the most important thing right now for Signal is to go back to their winning ways. A loss is a loss, but they have to look forward. And top of mind right now for this team is to make it to the semifinals. Something that the Navy Sea Lions are still hopeful that they still can be able to do.
Let's take a look at our team standings to better appreciate where everyone is. And after that win, the Crisscross King Crunchers are on top of the league, undefeated. And then you have a bunch of teams with 2 wins. As you said, Coach, 4 squads will make it into the semifinals.
Only 4.
So they will be jockeying for position to be able to get to that spot.
And that's why for those teams who are in that spot with a 2-1 win-loss card, Signal is itching to try and get 1 step ahead of them. While for the Navy Sea Lions, it's all about staying alive because a loss here once again will derail their chances and move them closer to extinction.
You really don't want your season to be done before it really gets on track. And that is the key for the Sea Lions. They need to win here today. For Signal, as we said, a tough loss in their last matchup against their familiar foes in the Crisscross King Crunchers. This is a red letter day in Spikers Turf. When you look at the schedule, when it is finally published, you immediately jump to the day where Crisscross will go up against their rivals in Signal. In that matchup, it was dominant, to say the least, for the King Crunchers.
Oh, definitely. When you talk about scoring skills, in this particular matchup, Signal even had the upper hand against the King Crunchers. But eventually, in terms of non-scoring skills, that is where the King Crunchers killed the Super Spikers. And in this particular contest, they just could not stop the main guns of the King Crunchers. And eventually, the offense of the Super Spikers also dried up. They wanted this match to go into 5 sets, but eventually it ended in 4. And these numbers, not really the perfect illustration, but a little bit of an idea on how the King Crunchers was able to get past the challenge of the Super Spikers in round 1. These 2 teams will meet should Signal once again get to the semis. But for now, CKC will have 1 step ahead of the Super Spikers.
All right. Well, it's simply too many errors. That's more than double of the mistakes coming from the King Crunchers. The bright spot was the super effort coming from Steven Rotter, and we saw how he delivered, not just defensively, but on offense as well. He was spectacular throughout that matchup, and sometimes it felt like he was the only one really engaged, really emotional, really vocal in that match for Signal.
Rotter was the top gun for the Signal Super Spikers. Imagine this, 25% of their total output coming from this super outside spiker. You're talking about the 26-year-old product of California State University, a finals MVP in the Open Conference, a 2-time best opposite spiker in the CB League, they need Rotor to be as consistent as possible if they are once again to make it to the mountaintop. But for now, a bounce-back win is very much welcome for Rotor and the rest of the Super Spikers.
Moving on now to the other side, to the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. They went up against a team that was also looking for their first win as they took on the FEU Tamaraos, FUD and Steel Tamaraos. In that match, Coach, it was FEU that dictated the tempo, but we saw a gallant fight back coming from the PGJC Navy Sea Lions in the third set, and they took that in overtime in an extended third set. Unfortunately, they ran out of steam heading into the fourth.
A third set that took 64 points to finish. But in the scheme of things, you have here that FEU was a dominant team in terms of offense, really. A total of 81 points compared to just 55 in terms of scoring skills. But FEU gave up 12 errors in that third set loss, and eventually that opened a slight window for the Navy Sea Lions. But at the end of the day, FEU once again went back into its killer's instinct and finished off this match in 4 grueling sets.
The bright spot for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions is the returning Joven de la Vega. We say returning because it took him a bit of time to get back into action. This is his comeback conference after dealing with a bout of illness. But we saw the old Joven de la Vega flying around, scoring. Unfortunately, what he accomplished was not enough to keep them in the game against FEU.
Missed the entire Open Conference because of PTB. Emotional comeback for Joven de la Vega. Down, but definitely not out. And his comeback may be a rallying point for the Sea Lions. A battle cry to never give up and just give your best and hope for the very best that eventually be blessed upon you. These numbers may not be the usual numbers for Joven de la Vega, but still, it's a very good start. And they are welcoming Joven de la Vega with open arms.
And before we meet our starters, we do invite you to join us in our discussions on social media. Just use our hashtag 2025 Spikers Turf. Now we send it over to our venue announcer for the introductions of both squads.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paco Arena in the city of Manila. This is Season 8 of the Spikers Turf, where power meets passion. This is match number 14 of the preliminary round for the 2025 Invitational Conference, the match-up between the CIGNAL Super Spikers and their opponents, the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Introducing the 2 national referees officiating this match. Our first referee is Bobby Celso. Second referee, Chopper Educado. Let's now meet the starters. First, for the CIGNAL Super Spikers. Middle blocker number 8, team captain JP Bugawan. Setter number 5, EJ Casanya. Opposite hitter number 9, J-Rag de la Noche. Middle blocker number 20, Lloyd Josafat. Outside spiker number 21, Louis Ramirez. And another outside hitter number 23, Jared Naki. Starting libero is number 7, Vince Lorenzo. The head coach for Signal is Dexter Glamour. And now the starters for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Outside striker number 16, team captain Seaman First Class Greg Dolor. Middle blocker number 5, Ponch Castel. Center number 9, apprentice Seaman Puts Pudadera. Middle blocker number 15, apprentice Seaman Peter Hill. Opposite hitter Seaman Second Class number 18, Toto de la Vega. And outside spiker number 25, Seaman First Class Adiel Rosete. Starting libero is Seaman First Class number 13, Jack Kalingking. The head coach for the Navy is George Pasqua.
Moments away from the start of this matchup as we thank you for joining us here on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Your starters are ready for both Signal and PGJC Navy. Both teams looking to get a W here today as we check out our starters. De La Noche Bugawan, Shnaki with Lorenzo Ramirez, Josaphat, and Casanya for Signal. On the other side, it would be De La Vega, Kiel, Dolor, Kalingking with Curl Rosete, Castel, and Louis Pudadera as the starters for Coach George Pasqua. And we will open this matchup. The serve coming from Pudadera. Immediately an impact from JP Bukawan, who is really eager to get things started for his squad.
A good start is something that they're looking at. Definitely not just eager, but more than eager to have a blistering start to try and set the tone for this matchup.
Siyempre, Coach, pag galing ka sa talo, gusto mo talagang mabura agad-agad. Whatever memory you have of that defeat, that will be a check goal scoring for De La Vega.
Hindi lang yung basta galing sa talo eh. Galing sa talo.
Against your rivals.
Oh,
yeah.
As De La Vega shows us that he's very much ready to assume his Top Gun ways here for the Navy Sea Lions. First point after coming up with 8 in their previous loss.
That familiar jump serve. Oh, but it is going to be long coming from Greg Dolor. It will immediately be challenged by Coach George Pasqua. He thought that it may have clipped the line. Let's see what the results will be in this very early challenge coming from PGJC Navy. You need each and every point that you can get,
exactly,
especially to start.
Dolor scored 10 points last time against FEU. Greg Dolor, one of the leading scorers, if not the leading scorer, he is number 10 in scoring with 38 points heading to this game. That's close to 13 points per match for the former Tamarao. One of several players who traces their roots from FEU, just like their head coach, George Pasqua.
Oh, that flipped the line. That is in for Greg Dolor. It would be a service ace. Finding that corner to score a point. Big smile coming from Coach George Pasqua.
Only the fourth service ace, by the way, for the Navy Sea Lions. 3 in the first 3 matches. First here in this collision course.
This one. This one is going to be out, Coach George. And di ko naman na-challenge yun. Medyo malayo.
Tinanong niya kay Greg, sabi ni Greg, wag na.
Okay na daw yung isa.
Oh, may sukli pa.
So tied at 2 apiece. Start, Noche. Serve, a good one. Targeting Greg Dolor at the back. Joven De La Vega.
Clean.
Yep, gets another point.
One from the left wing, the other from the right flank. 2 of the first 3 points coming from De La Vega, the pride of USLS, Bacolod.
Thought he was done with his volleyball career. Was welcomed back by PLDT. Getting another opportunity here with PGJC Navy, and now he gets his first skill block of the matchup. Outstanding start, Coach.
Indeed. We talked about what Signal wanted to do early on, jump the gun on the Sea Lions. Instead, it's Navy on top right now by a couple of points.
Casanya with a set, that quick sent back. Good opportunity for the blue shirts to keep the scoring going, but this will be off. Oh, unfortunate mistake there coming from De La Noche.
Down 3. Multiple and consecutive points are coming from the team in blue. The simple two-hand push coming from Greg Delor.
De La Noche out of position for that particular exchange. Meanwhile, a quick answer back coming from Lloyd Josafat to end that scoring run coming from PGJC Navy.
A national team veteran already at a very young age. Interesting how many players here from Signal will be named to the national pool that will see action in the national team for the SEA Games. Kasi katulad doon sa Chris Ross, may mga mawawalang players.
Rosete on the gather, picked up by Lorenzo. From the back now, De La Noche scores on the cross court.
One error earlier with his floor defense. Redeems himself to produce a 2-point run and cut the 3-point lead to just a solitary edge here para sa Navy Sea Lions.
Ramirez serving.
Wow.
De La Vega still manages to send it across with some power, but De La Noche off speed. Great dive from the libero, but that will not work. That will score again for Toto De La Vega as he is making it rain here inside the Paco Arena.
Over 50% of their total output coming from De La Vega. 3 attack points, 1 offensive block.
Yeah, 4 points, 4 of the 6 for PGJC Navy. That will be an error as he stepped on the line on the serve.
Imagine the amount of work that he had to put in to get his fitness back,
Yeah,
and that is
yeah.
a testament to his commitment to once again be a part of the Spikers turf landscape, and of course to lead the way once again for the Navy Sea Lions.
Not a great pickup there as Rosete is blocked. That was EJ Casanya, the setter, getting the stuff on Rosete.
It's not about height, it's about timing here for Casanya, as the Super Spikers have already scored 38 kill blocks, including that last one from Casanya. Too much.
That will cross out of bounds and in favor of the Signal Super Spikers.
Down earlier, but now on top by 1. Good fight back here for the red shirts.
They want to have the lead heading into the first technical timeout.
9-time
our
Spikers
first
turf
set.
champions, by the way.
Not a great reception. First ball's having problems, and that is the result. But a lucky break there off the block. It bounced off of the antenna. But immediately a challenge coming from Coach Dexter Clamor, and who touched it before it hit the antenna.
That was Rosetta versus 3 Super Spikers. But let's see what the decision will be.
Another early challenge this time around coming from the Signal Super Spikers.
You only play a total of 7 games here in the elimination phase. Pag nadali ka ng sunod, magdedelikado ka kasi dikit-dikit yung sumunod o sumusunod sa King Crunchers.
That's why for the best shot, you need to finish at above 500.
Exactly.
I mean, if you hover there, then maybe you can make it into the next stage.
Otherwise, tatagilid ka talaga. Uuga-uga.
And that is why you see the sense of desperation coming from PGJC Navy as they want to pick up their first win of this tournament. Let's see the exchange. It is not successful. It touched the arm of a signal blocker last before it hit the antenna. So we're tied here at 7 apiece. Oh, good serve. Great effort. Signal on the block. De La Noche with another opportunity that was sent up. This play continues.
Wow, what a play by Pudadera.
They will go to the middle. Picked up by De La Vega. Kalingking. Back row attack goes through. And that will score for PGJC Navy. Pushing pushing us to our first technical timeout. 8-7 is the advantage for the Sea Lions against Signal.
Back inside the Paco Arena here in Manila for the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025. Carlo Ronnie, Signal head coach Dexter Clamore, told me that they treated their match against Crisscross like any other game. Identify the lapses, learn from it, and apply the learnings moving forward. And I asked him what the silver lining was in that game. He told me na eliminations pa lang to. We need to focus na makapasok muna ng semis and go one game at a time. And as confident as they can be, Coach Dexter knew communication was the missing piece, as he highlighted that the Super Spikers only had a month of training rather as a whole. And now they're banking on consistency with all skills as they look to get a bounce back today. Back to you, Ronnie and Carlo.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Denise. And I don't have the specific numbers, but Coach, in the semifinals and in the elimination round, it just feels like the Crisscross King Crunchers have more wins against the Signal.
Always the better team.
Super Spikers.
Always the better team.
But when push comes to shove, when you go into the end game, into the championship, that is when Signal usually raises their level. So, naiintindihan mo ba't sinasabi ni Coach Dex na, okay,
Dito pa lang, may confidence
it's
sila
early,
that when the playoffs comes, they are a different team. And they have shown that in the last 3 face-offs in the finals, they are the better team. As, of course, Crisscross aiming to change the narrative finally as they attempt to once again meet for the 4th time. Could be a possibility, but let's see.
Oh, good slide coming from Monch Castel. The best volleyball that PGJC Navy played against FUD and Steel was when Monch Castel was on the floor. He did not start that game. He came in as a substitute, but the entry, the injection of a middle hitter made it a little more difficult for FU's defense to react quickly.
Definitely a scoring threat at the middle and also an able defender at the net. So far here in set 1, an exchange of points here after or even before the first technical timeout.
One-point lead here for Signal Super Spikers. Good one coming from Snacky. Meanwhile, another middle hit, this time coming from Peter Kiel.
You like the reaction here coming from the former Tamarao. Peter Kiel heading to this game, 18 attack points for Kiel. Total of 19 points scored in 3 matches.
Good effort on defense coming from PGJC Navy. They toss it to the other side. Casanya sets it up, and that will score. Not even needed to score, as there was a net touch already against PGJC Navy, as De La Vega scraped the net.
Almost another point for Louis Ramirez, the pride of the Perpetual Altas. That's right now the leading scorer here for Signal.
JP Bugawan serves. Ooh, but that does not cross. Service error. Their mistakes. Biggest reason why they took that loss against the Crisscross King Crunchers in their last game.
Over a set and a half of 3 points given up. And that's too much against an elite opposition.
De La Noche goes cross-court again. One more chance to score here. They go back to him, and this time he goes down the line.
One cross-court was defended well. Line shot beats Jack Kalingking.
Kalingking, one of the best liberos that we have here.
Indeed.
In Spikers Turf. You don't beat him easily.
Very consistent, unassuming, but gets the job done.
Good serve from De La Noche. Rosete, meanwhile, powers it home.
Make no mistake about it, the Sea Lions are definitely prepared for this matchup against the Signal unit.
I think Coach George Pasco finally got the lineup that he wanted, the rotation that he is comfortable with. Let's see how Signal will try to adjust, and they go right back to Ramirez.
Higher and higher for Louis Ramirez. From a neophyte to a national player, from a super scorer in the NCAA to a big-name player here in the Spikers turf.
But it continues to be a tight contest. Only a 1-point advantage for Signal. 13 to 12. Oh, high ball here. It is saved.
Wow.
And it is not kept alive. Wasted opportunity there against Greg Dolores. Sometimes you get over-aggressive. You still want to attack with power. Pero wala na sa forma, coach. Wala na sa
plane
tempo.
eh.
Yeah.
Oo. Kala ko papaso na siya. Nagdalawang isip din. But eventually, they will give up that last point.
Yung tulak nga niya, pumuntos kanina, di ba? Oh, another service error coming from Signal. Service error from Ramirez.
These 3 points are keeping the Sea Lions really close. Plus, of course, an array of attack points coming from different players led by this young man on the floor. At the service line, rather.
Casanya goes to Snaki. Picked up by De La Vega. From the back, Dolor. Ramirez was there to defend. De La Noche gets through.
Different points of attack for Casanya to work with. Snake, Ramirez, and then De La Noche also coming into play. The southpaw with this explosion. But the right hit.
Tough first ball there coming from Dolor. Rosete with a soft touch. Good defense. Kaso na patawid itong si Monch Castel. That will be an unforced error on the side of PGJC Navy, as all of a sudden Signal enjoying a 3-point lead, 16-13, second technical timeout.
Top 5 na nilook forward ko sa liga. Number 1 sa team namin, si Steven Rotter, kasi na-miss namin siya. Siguro sa UST, si Josh Ibanez, alam niyo naman. Chris ko, siguro si Menard, kasi BFF ko yan. Sa FEU, si Benny. Yan, si Valia, si Libero. Then last, siguro sa Navy, si Kuya Jack, Kalinting.
And that is one of the many things that we look forward to also here in the Spikers Turf Invitationals. Guaza not yet seeing action. He will smile it off on that corner as we continue on with this matchup. 16-13, and you can see that Signal, they want some separation at this stage of the first set.
Exactly.
But they won't get it yet. They won't get it yet. As Joven De La Vega answers with another point to get them within striking distance anew.
Better passing, better first ball. Leading to the 5th point for De La Vega here in set 1. That's 5 of the first 14 points of the Sea Lions from De La Vega.
Tough first ball to work with. And they will score again. That is the result. You allow the defense to set up and really see where your offense is going if it's out of system.
Right. Ambushed at the net. 2 straight points here for the Blue Shirts after the second technical timeout.
Just like that, it's a 1-point lead. Another strong serve coming from Rosete. Casanya sets it up from the back. Oh, a denial coming from Castel. And we're tied at 16.
3 straight points. Just like that, as you mentioned, we're tied. Timeout here for Signal.
Receive, we're doing good in receive. They're serving good. Minus reception, it's okay. Second ball was good. Pero pinalo niya eh. So kailangan come-over tayo. Kailangan maging automatic sa atin ng pag-over. Problema na natin yan. Sayang. He made the right choice kung paano pumalo, pero sa atin wala tayong cover. Trabaho natin yun. Cover, set ulit, recycle again. Hey, now, side out.
Her 3-point lead, all of a sudden, history. As a PGJC Navy Sea Lions coming alive. Look at this well-timed block coming from Juan Castel. No defender to clean up. No one to pick it up.
Bugawan extracted already, Greg Delor. But Castel once again, that long, that tall. Big offensive block.
And the heavy service coming from Rosete certainly helping out. But when you serve with power, sometimes you can make mistakes. That is an error coming from him. Lead goes back to the Signal Super Spikers. Casania with a sharp serve. They go back to De La Vega, but that will be kept alive by Signal. Great effort on defense from the Blue Shirts. They set it up for Greg Dolor. Not a lot of power behind it. Casana to De La Noche. Cross court again.
Better floor defense here for the Super Spikers. Lengthening the rally, gave them themselves another chance for transition play. And De La Noche has been on point at that spot.
A lefty spiker going cross court. It's just a sight to behold.
Mahirap, mahirap.
That might be a net violation against Greg Dolor.
From 16-13 to 16 all. Back to a 3-point lead for the Super Spikers. Good response after the timeout was called earlier by Coach Dexter Clamor.
So a timeout will also be called here by Coach George Pascua. Let's listen in.
So ilayo mo lang para makasilip yung spiker mo. So ganun pa man, gawa na ng paraan. Touch, then
Akin yun, akin.
sa labas. Okay? Liwanag. Ito, abang ka doon. Hingin mo doon ang bola sa kalahati ng court para running likod. Tapos, ha? So, ready ka, card sa gitna. Ha? Tara, let's go. Pero receive muna tayo. Focus mo tayo sa receive. Focus mo tayo sa receive. Para makuha yung middle.
Yeah, just a couple of technical reminders as we see the brain trust of our men's volleyball team. I mean, what an amazing performance they had.
Historical.
Up. I was lucky to be a part of the build-up when they flew to New York, train there, and then just work out and really build on their chemistry. And you saw that the team was building something special. From the back row, this one too strong. And Coach George Pasco already asking for a block touch challenge. Let's see if the video picks something up. This will be the second challenge coming from the PGJC Navy. They were successful earlier on the ball-in, ball-out challenge early in the set.
Very early.
On a serve coming from Greg Dolor. Was there a touch? No. That is negative. So the point will stay with Signal. Now they lead by 4.
Biggest scoring run here that I've seen so far in set 1. After a slow start, they're back in the driver's seat.
A joust up top. One more try, and that will connect. All of a sudden, a 5-point lead for the Signal Super Spikers.
A good save here for the red shirts. Could have been a free point for the Sea Lions. Instead, they are 4 points away. As they're also 5 points clear.
Double substitution for PGJC Navy, Paulino and Jairami. Checking into this contest.
That's their primary playmaker, Jairami.
And that will score. That will connect for Paulino upon his entry.
First touch, no problem. Ang sikip ng dinaanan nun.
21-17. They need a couple more points to really put some pressure on the Signal Super Spikers. As Bonch Castel will serve here. Casanya had to chase that ball, and it goes to the other side. They made Casanya move too much, resulting to an error.
ABC Lions keep pushing. Error count here for the Super Spikers, probably around 5 to 6 at this stage.
Much better first ball, and that gives them an opportunity to attack. De La Noche answers to extend their lead back up to 4.
De La Noche showing us that he is a force to reckon with. Stopping the 2-point run, restoring a 4-point edge.
Correct score is 22-18. Meanwhile, that is picked up behind. Oh! Bugawan could not get to it. As PGJC Navy still fighting back here. Still trying to turn this matchup around. 22-19 is the correct score in favor of the Super Spikers. This is Mark Kenneth Paulino serving. But that gorgeous first ball leads to an opportunity to pounce for Ramirez.
Ramirez showing us that he is at the top of his game here in this Invitational Conference. But the 2 foreign teams will be joining the 4 semifinalists for single round robin play to determine those who will make it to the finals and in the single game battle for third.
Double substitution. Oh, the Lord checked, blocked, and that one sails out of bounds in favor of the Super Spikers. Late timeout here in the first set coming from Coach George Pascua.
Pagka sa first ball, kasi naka-establish ang blockers. So hiwalay mo muna. So si Toto doon, isang back quick, isang dulo rito, at saka isang back row. Ngayon pag naghiwalay na, doon ka mag-kombinasyon. Okay, kasi naka-establish ang block, naka-establish ang block. Pero okay lang yun. So huwag mo nang ulit sa susunod. Pag nagkabalikan, doon ka mag-kombinasyon kasi naka-spread na yung blockers. Ha? So receive muna tayo, boys. Hindi pa tapos yan. 24 yan. Kapitan natin. Ha? Kapitan natin. Let's go, let's go. Let's go!
Tough challenge for PGJC Navy to extend this first set. They need to score 5 straight points against the Signal Super Spikers. But it's always one at a time. Let's see if they can get their first point to stay here in the competition for your first set. Team captain JP Bugawan serving for Signal. Kiel was slowed down. De La Noche, emphatic attack, will get them a 25-19 first set. Was not pretty at the start, but when they got themselves going, there was no answer coming from PGJC Navy as the Sea Lions bow to the Super Spikers 25-19 after our first set in this match. (25-19) in set 1 in favor of the Signal Super Spikers. Let's check out some of the highlights. It was tight at the start of this matchup with Joven De La Vega really powering the offense, Coach Ronnie, for PGJC Navy.
With De La Vega scoring 4 of the first 6 points, not only did they stay close, but they were ahead. When we reach the first technical timeout, tumamang ng bahagyang signal. When we reach the second technical timeout, nakatabla naman ang Navy Sea Lions at 16-all since they were down at 16-13. But a 9-3 killer run will enable itong Signal Super Spikers to eventually win the set laban dito sa Sea Lions.
So how do you bounce back from it if you are the PGJC Navy Sea Lions? They need to figure it out quickly. They know what it takes to hang and to go up against the Signal Super Spikers, but that is a great number, Coach Ronnie. Only 3 errors from the Super Spikers in that entire first set.
Nagkamali nga ako, bilang ko 5 hanggang 6
Yeah.
At dun sa tatlong yan, yung
2 were
dalawa sa
service.
umpisa.
Yeah.
Sa umpisa. And that was a big category that eventually derailed itong Sea Lions from staying close up to the last point. Attack points, Casania doing a wonderful job distributing his sets. Sa blocking, karamihan dyan para sa Navy Sea Lions sa bandang umpisa. Mabula yung reception at times ng Super Spikers, but they were able to recover. And I thought that J. Hart de la Noche had a lot to do about that last part together with Louis Ramirez to make sure that they are not in peril dun sa duluhan ng ating unang set.
De la Noche all of a sudden emerging with his scoring, pouncing on the opportunity to score the final point of the first set, and with a 25-19 for the Signal Super Spikers.
With the way the playing schedule was drawn, there are several teams who play consecutive play dates, and that's why imperative also for the coaches to find ways to shuffle their lineup, keep their players fresh and healthy for the tougher grind ahead come the playoffs.
Because the player that we talked about in our pre-game, itong si Steven Roder, has not yet seen action.
Yes. Owar Tamar is not in active
Not in
duties
uniform.
today. Oo.
Umandal also not playing.
Si Umandal nasaktan nung huli nilang laro di ba? Na tapilok ito nung third set.
So he will stay in the sidelines for now. But, you know, a team like Signal, they're deep enough to still have a fearsome 6 on the floor. Oh, lucky break there coming from EJ Casania as the trajectory of that ball changed drastically after touching the tape.
First service ace here for the Super Spikers.
Still targeting Greg Dolor as Joven De La Vega answers right back with the first point for the Sea Lions. Here's the second.
8 points was the most number of points that he was able to register since his comeback this conference after missing the open. Right now already with 6, 5 in the previous set. First point here in set number 2.
Decent first ball here, workable. Not a lot behind it coming from Bugawan. And that spike will connect for Greg Dolor. I mean, he still have explosive power.
No doubt. A former King Tamarao. The #1 scoring option for the Sea Lions. But eventually the return of De La Vega will make them the top 2 guns once again for Navy.
Casania sets it up. De La Noche with a soft touch. Great dive from Jack Kalingking. De La Noche with a power tip this time, beating Kalingking once more.
Best opposite spiker in season 85 of the UAP. From Victoria City, Muscovado. Yan. Baba mga paborito natin dyan. Napoleones. Yan. Piyaya. Yan. Nakakaubo yan.
Parang ang dalas mo doon, Coach.
Hindi, nabasa ko kasi yung mga binagyong lugar last night, and Bacolod is one of them.
Of course, we're extending our well wishes to everyone who were affected by the
Very
recent
much
storms.
affected, yes.
We saw the devastation. Heart goes out to each and every one of you. You were praying for your quick recovery.
And another super typhoon is coming, by the way, so stay safe, everyone.
We continue on with the action here. Joven De La Vega tosses it across. They will go to Ramirez. That block, a lot behind it, and it will sail out of bounds, tied at 3 apiece.
Very rare do you have Louis Ramirez going for an off-speed hit. Full swing, full throttle, all power. Parang four-wheel drive. Si Louis Ramirez, tied at 3. Second set.
Bugawan with the serve. They are still sending it to Greg Dolor. Meanwhile, even if that was not in their system, De La Vega still finds a way to score.
Terrific setup coming from Louis Punadera.
Awkward na yung angat coach pero nahataw pa rin itong si De La Vega.
Nakukondisyon na ng gusto.
De La Vega off the block and now scoring another one.
That's 3 points here in set number 2. That's 3 of the first 5 points. That was a total of 9 points. Good save coming from Delor. And on the bump set, scores off the block.
So like what they did in the first set, a good start for the Sea Lions. Meanwhile, Signal heating up, bridging the gap, and they're only down by 1 now. De La Noche, after scoring, will serve again.
De La Noche is someone that the Navy Sea Lions have to really track well. Dahil kundi si Ramirez at sa gitna, sa kanya talaga ang punta. Another service error for Signal.
They had a couple of earlier those in the first set. They need to clean it up. As the Navy back to enjoying a 2-point lead, 6-4. Oh, but they give it right back. A service error as well coming from De La Vega. That's the second error that he has done from the service line. The first one was stepping. Now he sends it long. Good serve. Now a chance for Signal, and that is a strong one coming from Shnaki.
Good reaction time here coming from Snacky. Another Phil-American here seeing action for Coach Dexter Clamore. They have Steven Roter and Snacky. Talk about the depth of the Super Spikers, and then the emergence of De La Noche as another scoring option.
Another strong serve coming from Ramirez. Now Rosete still wanted to hammer it across. He will be stuffed by the net.
Very tough. Out of system, broken play, leading to the third point given up to the red shirts. Now, after being on top by 2, they're behind by 1.
Ramirez, as usual, will load up this serve. This one, too much though, could not find the spin to send it down. Another service error against Signal.
Tied at 7.
Sete had a good stint serving earlier. Let's see if he can keep it going. Oh, another error. As they will donate another point to Signal, pushing us to this technical timeout, the first one. On the second set, Signal up 8-7.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025 live here inside the Paco Arena in Manila. Set 2 of this matchup between the men of the Signal Super Spikers and the men of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Carlo Roni, lone Alas Pilipinas player from the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, Jack King talked to me about the impact of his experience from their recent FIVB stint that had on him. Not just as a player, but as a person as a whole. Now, he battles Signal alongside familiar faces from Alas Pilipinas, but this time as rivals pushing each other to bring out their best. As one of the veterans of the Navy squad, King's mindset has now shifted towards embracing a leadership role, guiding the team's 8 rookies as they navigate their first taste of the league, all while preparing himself to once again don the national colors for the next international campaign. Back to set 2.
Well, thank you for that report. I'm sure that he learned so much coming from Coach Frigoni. Just that experience competing against some of the best teams in the world papatatagin ka talaga, coach. Eh, diba?
Tayo.
I mean, you could say it
Sobra.
because you played, when you were young, you played international basketball as well. It's just different when it's about the country.
Makes you a better player, definitely. Makes you a better person. Makes you understand so many things. First offensive block here for Signal in this set. They had a total of 2 kill blocks in that first set win. Total of 3 right now for the Super Spikers.
Now, EJ Casanya, the owner of one of the kill blocks earlier, on the service line now. That is over-received, and that is quickly turned into a point by JP Bugawan. They're really testing the reception of Greg Dolor in this matchup, coach.
Right. Only the second point for JP Bugawan, by the way.
Di bali na nandito yung bola sa loob natin. Anyway, stop na kagad kasi lumulog kami. Pinapabayaan natin eh. Puntos na naman nila yun, error na naman natin. Hindi natin maitawid yung bola sa kabila. Pag natawid natin yung bola, pwede tayong pumuntos, pwede maraming mangyari. So ang objective natin, receive muna tayo. Then atake tayo. Intindihan. Pag galing sa receive, itaas mo lang ng konti. Itulo mo ng konti kasi para maka-down the line siya. Tatangga pa saya.
PGJC Navy!
Coach George Pasco wants to arrest this slide right here, right now. They're making mistakes, and they're making it easy for the Signal Super Spikers. Lucky for them, they get a break as Casanya sends his service long.
Every time they are down, they're able to fight back. Let's see if that trend will continue here. Referring to the Sea Lions.
Oh, that would be back-to-back hits for PGJC Navy. A point scored, and they're right back into this.
Back-to-back 3 points given up by Signal. Over received.
Navy has shown us that they can come back into it. They can erase 3-point leads as De La Noche has been so consistent with his attacks.
JP Bugawan has been defended time and again. But in terms of accuracy, in terms of hitting rate in this match, it has to be J. Hart De La Noche, who's top of mind for Signal.
They go to De La Vega. He scores on the cross-court kill.
Right here, right now, making a stand. De La Vega in double figures. 18 points in the last 2 games at least. And they're still firing.
That timeout really waking up the squad of Coach George Pasqua as they shape up to form. The battle right back. Jump serve from Greg Dolor. Casanya sets it up to the quick. The block goes out and in favor of Signal.
2 Tamaraos going at it. Or 2 former Tamaraos, to be precise.
JP Bugawan serving to try and extend this to a 3-point lead for Signal. That was over-received. But Coach George Pasqua will request a challenge for reaching beyond. These are always the toughest to call in live action, Coach.
True. Especially for our game officials.
Yes. Well, especially for us, they're good. That's their job. It's hard for us. But of course, it's within their best judgment. And this review system gives us an opportunity to look at the video and see what really transpired. So we're sure about the calls that we're making. Dito kasi, Coach, simple lang yung yung sagot. Yes or no lang.
Wala nang paliwanag.
Yung sa PBA, may explanation eh.
Mahirap naman talaga. May spin eh.
So that is an unsuccessful challenge coming from PGJC Navy.
The ball had already crossed the net when Lloyd Josephat strike.
That was already a playable. De La Vega stopped that time. Meanwhile, Rosete from the other side, that hits the antenna. So automatically outside as Rakiza will enter this matchup. This guy's a high flyer. Replacing Rosete, who made that mistake.
Biggest lead here for Signal at this stage, up 4.
Bogawan continues to serve. Rakiza denied. They know that there was a chance that Pudadera wanted to get the new player going early. So Signal extends their lead to 5, 16-11, heading into our second technical timeout of the second set.
Top 5 ko na player sa Spikers Turf. First, of course, si Captain Greg Dolor. Kasi sobrang angas niya, lalo na sa court. Then, pangalawa, si Mark Espejo. Nakaka-inspire tingnan maglaro. Pangatlo, Kim Malabunga. Ayun, nakasama ko din sa national team. Masayang kasama. Then, si Noel Campton. Masaya din kasama. Louie Ramirez. Yun, napaka-humble na bata.
We are ready to restart the action after that second technical timeout. Signal enjoying a more comfortable 5-point advantage as compared to their 3-point lead at this stage of the matchup. Peter Gale sends it wide. So the errors compounding the struggles here of the Sea Alliance.
Nakahabol na sila kanina. 1 consecutive miscues coming from Signal. But attack points are hard to come by at this stage for the blue shirts.
Gale makes up for it though. Goes to a similar spot. Managing to keep it in bounds this time around. As Coach Dexter Clamore is calling for a double substitution in just a little bit. They will play on here, 12 serving 17. De La Noche has been spectacular with that cross court. Oh, miscommunication between Monch Castel and Rakiza. You know, sometimes when you just check in, papainit ka pa lang eh. You still want to get your feel of the game. Castel was already saying it was his ball.
Nakapwesto na siya.
(18-12), a 6-point lead. Good defense coming from the Super Spikers. Ramirez. Rakiza. Medyo masama yung pwestuhan as this will be a denial coming from Josephat.
Defensive miscues here, costing the Sea Lions some precious points.
Also saw the first entry of Steven Rotter here in this matchup as another timeout will be called by the Sea Lions.
Nandun na yung dalawang block. So, muna, i-commit mo muna sa, bigay mo muna sa middle. Kasi pag magtaasan tayo ng bola, nakukuha sa block yun. Di ba? So, anong gagawin natin? Ang out of system natin, doon mo bigay sa 4, sa 5. Kasi mas mahirap bumlock ng pakaliwa kasi nga mas nahihirapan sila ron. Hindi yan. Ikaw naman, kunin mo na rito. Sumumba ka na. Combination ka rito, saka iwanan mo sa ron. Tapos wala palong diretso. Tara! Receive tayo ulit, receive. PGJC na din!
Oh, familiar face in Coach Dante Alinsanuri.
Yes. One of the best local coaches that we have in the country.
I saw him yesterday at the Mall of Asia Arena, of course, coaching in the PVL.
Yes. Choco mucho.
No, not the result that they wanted. Of course, as they lost in 3 sets. Meanwhile, the blocking. Wow, that was a triple against Rakiza.
Sorakisa towering over. The three blockers join forces. Nowhere to go. Covered on all angles.
De La Noche continues to serve. Another good one. But recovered by De La Vega. They go now to Rotter. Off speed. Great dive from Kalingking. It's kept alive. As Rotter will keep it in play. Ramirez sends it across. They go to De La Vega. That will be wide.
And that's a rare miss coming from De La Vega. The most productive Sea Lion today.
Well, Coach, the blocking has certainly elevated for the Signal Super Spikers in this matchup. They're more active defensively.
Look at the front line. Look at the size and length of the Super Spikers.
Ramirez, Rotter, and Josafat. As De La Noche almost hits one of his teammates with that service error. Meanwhile, Sian Silang, their other setter, checking in.
Interesting to note that a lot of these players serving as assistant coaches for several teams.
Wherever, kalat-kalat.
Part of the learning process.
Rumarake, joke lang. Of course, their knowledge is certainly useful in other squads as well.
Transfer of technology.
Another service error for Joven De La Vega.
His third in the match.
Now double substitution, Jairami and Paulino. Checking in for De La Vega and Pudadera.
Napagod na rin si De La Vega. He's been attacking relentlessly.
Now a 9-point lead for Signal, 22-13. Another service error though, as parang dito na lang nagagaling yung puntos coach ng Sea Lions at this stage.
Ang natatandaan ko na lang yung pick kay Peter Kiel kanina eh. Talking about the last attack point para sa Sea Lions.
Rakiza will serve, try to inject some life to the cause of PGJC Navy. Silang goes to the quick. And Lloyd Josafat pounds it to the other side. Double substitution coming up. Oh no, just a single. And the Bugawans will high five. Younger Bugawan checking in.
And again, the height disparity. Very visible.
23-14, another miscue. The new setter could not activate what they were trying to work on there.
Out of sync, out of reach. 10 set points for a 2-set lead for Signal.
They go to Paulino, he is sent back. Jairami goes to Dolor. Sapat keeps it in play. Rotter tosses it across. Jairami, oh, miscue as nothing was working there for Jairami, donating the 25th point for the Signal Super Spikers, winning this one handily, 25-14. Bunch of miscues in the end game. They could not even get their offense going. Dominant Signal Super Spikers lead now 2-0.
you like a song played again and again. But always move.
Pwede ba next time yung sayaw naman ni Coach Ronnie Magsanok yung panoorin natin sa Instagram account niya? Request lang next time. Meanwhile, Signal Super Spikers
I can do it now.
up 2 sets to none. 25-19 in the first, 25-14 in the second. As we check out some of the highlights, it was tight at the start. Lumamang pa nga itong Navy, but when Signal got going, the offense stopped for the Sea Lions. The blocking was elevated for Signal, and it was just a recipe for disaster for PGJC.
Oh, indeed,
Navy.
indeed. Committing many errors in succession really derailed their chances of staying close after the midpoint. Because when we got to the midpoint, they were only 2 points behind. But giving up 6 straight points is a big no-no against a team that knows too well how to handle a sizable edge. And the final score did not reflect the early goings of that set. But eventually, the Sea Lions will find themselves 2 sets down to the very hungry unit of the Super Spikers, eager to bounce back after suffering a 4-set loss at the hands of the King Crunchers, crisscross.
More errors on the side of the Signal Super
Nadagdagan pa yung,
Spikers. Oo,
nadagdagan pa yung walo.
Pito yung mistakes nitong Signal.
Eh, labing-isa naman yung sa Sea Lions.
And then only 7 attacks, no kill blocks, no service aces. So you understand why that was compounded. And you saw them a little bit rattled, Coach, at the tail end of that second set. They were committing silly mistakes.
Correct. Nung actually bumagsak ng bahagya yung mga balikat when they sensed that De La Vega was tiring out. That's why Coach George gave Joven De La Vega a rest late in the set. All in all, kinapos after the midpoint. Let's see how well they start out the third set. Because the Super Spikers, as we mentioned earlier, not only are they eager to bounce back, but they want to keep their players fresh for the tougher drive ahead.
Kelmer.
Amazing players that we're seeing, amazing action, especially from this guy. Coach De La Noche has been super effective, efficient on the other side. Joven De La Vega trying his best to mount some positives coming from the Sea Lions.
The effort of Joven De La Vega, wala ka na masasabi. The onus right now is on the rest of the Sea Lions to backstop whatever De La Vega has been able to give. Meanwhile, J Hart, J Rock, De La Noche, just embracing the role of being the top gun in today's match, producing a total of 9 points, heading to set number 3 to lead all Super Spikers.
Si Coach Dexter Clamor will start with Rotter and Cian Silang in this unit. Miguel will also see some action with the younger Bugawan. Also in play, they go to the middle. That one will sail out of bounds. First point of the third set will belong to the Super Spikers.
De La Noche did not play in that 4-set loss laban sa crisscross. King Crunchers, by the way.
Short serve coming from Bugawan. He's there to pick it up. And then Miguel. It's a strong attack on the other side, beating the defense of Dolor.
That's Wendell Miguel, the 9-point scorer of the Super Spikers against the King Crunchers in their last match. Seeing his first taste of action here in set number 3.
Binagsak, dinalawang kamay against Greg Dolor.
Tinodo.
Oh, miscommunication there. Oh, what a lucky break coming from The Sea Lions, nagkaagawan sa bola. Martin Bugawan tried to get it when there was someone behind him who was at a better angle.
Wendell Miguel, by the way, is the second leading scorer for the Super Spikers in the Invitational Conference with 32 points fired in 3 games.
Oh, that quick, amazing efficiency when they go to those quick attacks.
This is a team loaded. Decorated players, the collegiate ranks, national players as well. Trying to finish off the Sea Lions and keep them winless.
Service error coming from Rotter as he will send it long. His first serve of this entire matchup.
After a 22-point game, his most productive match versus the King Crunchers.
Another middle attack as they go to JP Bugawan this time around.
Better connection between JP Bugawan and Silang. Most productive set so far for Bugawan after finishing with 4 points in the first 2 sets.
Now they want to start things off early. Kanina back-to-back, first and second, 8-7 in favor of Signal. Heading into the first technical timeout. They might want a bigger lead this time, but another service error will slow their cause.
This will be to add on to the 5 service errors committed in the first 2 sets.
And the 3 points of Navy, 2 were donated by Signal. Silang another quick. This one gets through. Schnacky was blocked and sent back. Tied ball game for all.
Coverage was not present at that spot. Of a broken play. Out of system. First block in the set.
Now Joven De La Vega will serve.
This will be first block in the last 2 sets for the Sea Lions.
Oh yeah, nothing in the second set for them. Back row attack for Rotter. Goes through. But it was picked up. Odadera sets it up. And this one is a check ball for Rosete.
3 straight points here for the Sea Lions. Pushes them ahead. Off the block point.
Smart hit. Knowing that the blockers were present. Just brushing it off their arms. To get a check ball score. Meanwhile, that is long from De La Vega.
That has been a cause for concern for De La Vega as of late. 9 points so far for De La Vega.
Now to break the deadlock. Team captain JP Bugawan serving. De La Vega slowed down by that double block. Now Schnacky set back. Sian keeps it alive. Martin Bugawan sets it up. Rotter. Oh, that was a wall that he was met with.
Second kill block of the set. Back to a 1-point edge for the Sea Lions. Last stand for Navy.
That was Anthony Kuramin who sent it back. But they donate the point right back. Rosete is having troubles with his service, coach.
Indeed. Anferni Kuramen played 2 sets against FU, scored 2 points.
Usually it's Shaquille who gets the blocks, but it's Anferni this time. That joke will only work for those my age.
Hindi ko inabot yan.
Good recovery coming from the Super Spikers.
Oh, nice.
And it will score for Rotter.
In a joust versus the former King Tamaraw, Dolor will lose that last tussle.
Mas mahaba, kaya last touch pa dun.
Sobrang tangkad ni Rotter nung lalong pumayat,
Yep.
ano?
Good serve coming from Sian Silang.
Smart.
Yep.
But,
No touch, according to our officials.
no challenge from Coach George Pasqua.
So we jump to our first technical timeout of the third set, 8-6 in favor of Signal.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Spikers Turf Invitational Conference 2025 live here inside the Paco Arena in Manila. Carlo, Ronnie, Jared, Schnacky, the youngest member of the Signal Super Spikers, is starting to make his presence felt on the court. After scoring just a lone point in their match against Crisscross, the rookie from the University of California, discovered during an exhibition game in New York, is now seeing more action this time around, which is all according to Coach Dexter Clamore's plan of boosting his players' morale, most especially as several of his players are gearing up for the upcoming SEA Games. And present here today on the sidelines, Alas Pilipinas coach Angelino Fregoni continues to push for the growth of men's volleyball in the country, hoping players like Schnacky signal the next level for Philippine volleyball. To set three.
Challenging the ruling in the last play for ball.
Thank you for that report, Denise. Yes, we have a challenge, a ball-in, ball-out challenge called here by Signal. Let's see what the video replay will show. Who will it favor? As the score currently, as it stands, is 9-7 in favor of the Super Spikers, who are also up 2-0 against the still winless PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Unsuccessful challenge because ball was clearly out. And the score 9-7 in favor of the red shirts.
Chance to go up to 3-1 for the Super Spikers. Navy, meanwhile, trying to get their first win.
Rotter did not get a good opportunity to hammer that home, but it is kept alive. One more chance now. Rotter. Well defended on the other side. This one goes through for De La Vega, but it's still a continuous rally sent to the other side by Dolor. Silang to the back row. Great defense from the blue shirts. But a miss hit from Joven De La Vega. That felt like a tired hit, Coach, no?
Since the latter part of the second set appeared to tire out, this comes after scoring heavily for the Sea Lions and really taking over the offensive chores for Navy.
And I'm sure he's still trying to work himself back
Yung humahaba
into
yung oras,
100% shape. Dahil hindi po biro yung pinagdaan ng sakit nitong si Joven De La Vega.
Sa lungs yun eh.
Yeah.
Takes time. The most important thing is that he is alive and well and is playing once again.
Yung condition mahahabol mo eh.
Darating
It
yan.
will come. You just have to stay patient, stay with it.
Lalakas ka naman talaga ulit eh. Paghihirapan mo lang.
Still some effort coming from Pudadera, but he will come up just a little bit short on his attempt to keep that ball in play.
Medyo relax na si Coach Dexter Clamore compared to the start. No?
11-8 is the count now. Bugawan serving. They go to Greg Dolor, but he was roofed by that combination of JP Bugawan and Wendell Miguel.
2 blocks in set number 1. And then in set number 2, total of 4. Pushes their block total to 6.
It was Miguel by his lonesome who got a touch on it. Martin Bugawan continues to serve. Pudadera with a set. That hits the chest of Sian Silang, luckily to keep it in play. Oh, miscommunication once again for Navy. Now a check ball will score for De La Vega.
Double-digit game. First one for De La Vega since coming back. Missed the entire Open Conference. Cutting the lead to 3.
Ka lang magpapaiwan, dikitan mo lang. That should be the messaging coming from the Navy Sea Lions. Because if it's 1 to 3 points, they have shown that they can get back into it. But when it goes up to 5 to 6, then that is a little bit more difficult.
Mabuti kung panay ang error ng signal.
Yeah.
Eh, manaka-naka din naman. And it's very hard to get off a 5-point run against the Super Spikers.
Another service error coming from Rotter. First one was long, this one straight to the net. Just can't get himself going from that side. Sometimes when you're used to playing heavy minutes, the rotation, it's difficult to keep that heart rate intact.
True.
Rotter playing good defense though. One more chance to attack. Rotter could not get to it. So that is back-to-back points for the Navy.
Good scoring run here for the blue shirts on that zero tempo play. This one on the shoot.
Nabantayan na sa wakas yung middle CNC lang. One hand set. Miguel sent back. Miguel will dive for it. But he could not keep it alive. Now just a one-point game. So Coach Dex Clamor will call a timeout. Things have not looked pretty as of late. Let's listen into this timeout.
Hey, sobrang easy ng serve. Ang problema, di tayo kagad maka-side out. Magaan lang. Next. Now, puro middle, puro middle. We need to commit. Ngayon, pag nag-commit ka, JP, pwede ka rin sumama. Pwede ka rin mag-help. 3-0 run.
Okay.
Problem, reception. Next, second ball. You can set still here with Wendell. Diba? Oh, now side out. Isa na lang. Let's go.
Hey, Signal!
Just looking to break the momentum as you see Sir Ricky Palou. Our friends from here and Spikers Turf, of course, witnessing the action. They go right back to JP Pugawan. So middle again, even if Coach Dexter Clamor was asking for like a more variety, more options.
But it was crafted because of that excellent first ball coming from the Super Spikers. 2-point lead.
Heavy serve coming from Wendell Miguel. Oh, this one fools the defenders coming from Signal. That's a lucky point for the Sea Lions.
Outstanding pass once again, this one. Offhand save. 13 in the set. No third set breakaway so far for Signal at this stage.
Ginawa na lang ng paraan, nakapuntos pa. Good first ball here. Another middle. That time around, it was defended. Schnacky sends it long. We're tied at 14.
My oh my, the Sea Lions suddenly are very much alive.
Coming back from 4 points down, muscling their way back into it and tying the contest at 14. This one though, too long coming from De La Vega. As the lead shifts back to the Signal Super Spikers. Sarya and Paulino will check into this contest as Coach George Pasca will test out another setter for the double. Meanwhile, Guaza also enters the matchup for the Super Spikers.
Another middle blocker.
Might be our shortest middle blocker in the tournament, right? But in terms of vertical leaping,
Oh, not a problem, yes.
he stops being short there. But immediately a service error, 15 apiece, still loaded it up, made a mistake. Last point to play before our second technical timeout. Who will take the lead heading into our quick break? Another middle attack. It's being defended well, but that wipe will sail out of bounds, so it will be Signal holding the lead 16-15, entering our second technical timeout of the third set.
Ngayon sa team namin, almost same lang din. Gameplay and system lang yung medyo in-improve and binago ni Coach Dex sa amin. Pero may mga konting adjustment kasi gusto ng mga teammates ko mas tumataas and mas aggressive yung gusto nila. So mas maganda and aabangan yung team namin. Like may bago aming player ngayon na si Jared na ngayon excited na rin siya maglaro.
You heard it from Howard Tamar. You're excited to see this young player, Shnaki, seeing action for the Signal Super Spikers. And so far, he's still getting warmed up. He's still getting into his groove. But you're seeing great signs of the future for him.
Learning the landscape here in the Spikers turf is no easy task.
Sian Silang picking it up. Now it's set up. Rotter. Slowed down by the double block there. Sarya sets it up. At one, sails out of bounds.
I remember Steven Rother when he started also struggled in the early goings of his Spikers turf career until he felt more comfortable and found his groove.
This will be a head coach challenge for a block touch. Let's see if the video replay will favor PGJC Navy Sea Lions with this request.
The challenge by the Navy has been changed to a net fault challenge, and the challenge is now for net fault.
So they change it to a net fault. But you can only do that for a certain time, right, Coach? You can only post your challenge up until a certain time.
Correct.
So again, we're just looking at that last action to see where the point will go to. Well, looks like it was clean. Coming from the Signal Super Spikers.
And the shot was definitely out.
Yeah. They will hang on to the point, up 17-15. Usually it is at this stage of the matchup where Signal will make a move, will try to extend that lead, make themselves a little more comfortable. So this is where you must fight back if you're the Sea Lions.
But then you have Rother, you have Martin Bugawan and Shnaki as the three-man wall to give them a three-point edge.
Sabi ko nga sa inyo, matibay sila bumlock dito sa outside. Out of system natin, dito sa 4, kahit pa paano mag-e-effort yan sa pakaliwa para pag-target natin, si setter ang makaka-receive ng bola. Bakit pinipilit yung out of system sa open? Triple block nga nila yun eh. Ma-triple block man dito, at pag lumusot si setter pa rin ang kukuha ng bola sa kanila, broken play pa rin sila. Kung dito, si libero yung kukuha dyan. Pati drop ball. Go! Guys,
Volleyball, it's all about balance. It's all about playing the percentage. It's all about making sure that your opponent will not get to run the sets that they want. So you understand where Coach George Pasco is coming from. You're going up against a triple block here, but the success rate is low.
Ayan, dyan mo ibigay sa 4. Yan yung sinasabi. Sa alanganing pwesto kasi nakaabang yung mga blockers. So they hit the call, they score the next point.
Kuramin serving. Silang, where will he go? To Rotter, who just casually taps it in to that gaping hole in the defense of the Sea Lions.
Bitin na bitin, no? Pag nakagawa ng paraan.
(19-16) as Shnaki will serve his team up 3. Oh, that's a nice attack coming from Peter Gill, just outsmarting the defense, catching them napping at that stage.
We saw that one earlier. Repeated it again. And Signal was not able to defend that offhand tip once more. Their lead now slides to 2 points.
Paulino and Sarya checking out. Pudadera and De La Vega back in. But this double working out a little bit better for the Sea Lions as they go right back to Wendell Miguel. Good defense coming from the blue shirts. We rally. Peter Kiel gets it through, but recovered. Miguel, strong
Smart.
hit.
That's what you like about Mr. Fundamental. That's Wendell Miguel. Always very smart. A thinking player, really. Critical point here. Scored by Signal as they get to point number 20.
5 away from wrapping things up and picking up a 3-set sweep of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. They tried to go to a quick. And Rotter with the block there. Does not score just yet. Now they go back to Rotter.
Wow.
Just tapping balls here and
Yes,
there.
yes.
No power needed.
Understanding that in terms of height comparison, he's second to none.
Basic lang itong si
Yes,
Rotter as
yes.
it's 21-17. Another timeout for the Sea Lions.
Bilisan ka nga. Pero nakita mo na natin yung gusto ko. Hindi porke sinabi ko sa titignan mo rin yung bracket. Kasi hindi babantayan na ngayon to. So try naman natin magpapitulo. Hindi na bibitawan to. Try mo naman lulusulo. Ito, huwag mo bitawan to. Yung out of system nila, same thing doon ng game plan natin. Out of system nila, doon din binibigay sa 5, sa 4. So ganun din tayo para mas mahirap lakin. Di ba? So ganun din, out of system dito sa 4 ang bigay. Ha? Siyo, huwag natin bitawan na siyempre. PGJC Navy!
Look at this play one more time coming from Sian Silang, knowing that there was a gap in the defense for the Sea Lions on that side. An easy point for Rotter as they're up by 4 points. Greg Dolor with a strong one, scoring against Naki.
They needed that more than ever.
Pero coach, hindi ka pwedeng makipagpalitan. You need a couple of points consecutively here and there to get back into this. Greg Dolor serving his team down by 3. Oh, service ace. Perfect time to get it.
Against one of the best receivers for Signal. Talk about going for broke. The captain biting the bullet.
They're looking for their 3rd straight point. Greg Dolor, can he deliver once again to keep Navy in this match? Much better reception. Rotter with some power this time. That might have been on its way out, but Pudadera got to it.
What about the first ball coming from Schnacki? This one. Delanoche's back.
22-19. Rotter has not yet gotten a good serve in this match.
Delanoche is the one to be the setter?
They tried that earlier. No, it's Schnacki.
Schnacki.
Yep, Delanoche will continue to be one of their top attackers. Miscommunication between Pudadera and De La Vega. A similar mistake to what they committed at the tail end of the second set, Coach Ronnie.
Indeed, communication. Another concern here for the Sea Lions.
Another big serve coming from Rotter. Pudadera to De La Vega. Single block, not enough to stop him as he scores against Miguel.
Rotter probably stands 6'3" at the very least.
Sure.
As Vince abroad may be sent in shortly. But for now, Navy still 3 points behind and 2 sets down.
Peter Kiel keeps his serve safe. Casanya to Guaza on the quick.
That was forthcoming. May not be the tallest middle blocker, but definitely, you know, that he packs a lot of quality. Casanya and Guaza pushing Signal to 4 match points.
Vince Abroad finally able to check in. Well, could be a very short stint for Abroad, depending on the result of this serve coming from Miguel. De La Vega wants to keep battling. That will score for him. That was a rocket, Coach Ronnie.
Indeed. Able to get his second win. Last push for Delor, De La Vega, and the rest of the Sea Lions.
Joven de la Vega has had his struggles from the service area. Let's see if he can keep it clean. They go to Abrot, and it's only fitting that the last guy who checked in finishes things off. His first touch of the match ends up being the winning point.
Look at the reaction of Casanya. And you like the attitude as well of Vince Abrot. Late entry, no problem. Still a part of the team, but more than that, finishes off the Sea Lions in 3 straight sets.
Strong bounce-back performance coming from the red shirts, coming from the Signal Super Spikers. Yes, they recover nicely from losing their last matchup against the Crisscross King Crunchers. Winning this one by a sweep and keeping the PGJC Navy Sea Lions winless 25-19, 25-14, 25-21. We'll take a quick break. Highlights and our best player. We'll be back.
Welcome back all the way here from Paco Arena in Manila for the Spikers Surf Invitational Conference 2025. The Signal Super Spikers just got their bounce-back win in 3 sets against the men of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. And beside me is our best player of the game, J-Rack de la Noche, who delivered 9 attacks with 56% efficiency. J-Rack, congratulations. Unang-una, can you talk about the trust your team has given you inside the court, which pushed you or powered you to get that win?
Siguro po, ginawakalo yung best ko sa loob ng team. Tsaka yung mindset ko lang is no pressure. Kasi para pag no pressures, may enjoy mo yung set mo tsaka makapag-isip ka ng malawak sa loob ng court tsaka makakommunicate sa teammates.
J-Rack, moving forward, this is your bounce-back win coming from that loss against Crisscross. But what can we expect more from you and of course from Signal going against the tournament?
Siguro po, pagbutihan pa namin yung pinag-isayan namin ng past few days na kalaban namin sa Crisscross. Siguro po yung mga errors na nagawa namin na parang yung basic errors na sinasabi nga ni Kuya Brian Magunas na yung mga binigay sa amin na instruction. Ayun, gagawin namin yun para ma-improve pa namin yung team namin para hanggang sa dulo ng laro namin to.
Thank you so much and congratulations once
Thank you
again. J-Rack De La Noche of the Signal Super Spikers. Back to you, Ronnie and Carlo.
Well, thank you for that, and congratulations to De La Noche, our best player of this game. Set 3 highlights. It would prove to be the closest of this matchup, as the Sea Lions showed a lot of fight, especially at the start of this third set, Coach Ronnie.
Well, the Signal Super Spikers went deeper into the rotation, and that was the trigger for the Sea Lions to play better and harder. Lulor and De La Vega tried to rescue the ship of the Sea Lions, but eventually we ran out of steam in the end, as one service error derailed their chances of keeping the final set close. And the unsung heroes for the Super Spikers eventually will seal the deal for Signal to complete a bounce-back win.
Whoever stepped up, did something. Whoever got an opportunity to play, contributed positively. That was the story for the Signal Super Spikers as we check out the final numbers of that third set, even in terms of attacks, but in terms of errors, just too much coming from the Sea Lions. Coach.
Nearly 30 errors in today's match for the Sea Lions, and against an elite team, it will not be able to cut it out. And exactly what we saw. Took their chances away, and they will drop to their 4th consecutive loss, and Signal will climb to a 3-1 win-loss score.
We continue with the action here in your Spikers Turf 2025 Invitational Conference on Friday. And we will have a triple header for the PNS against some Spin Doctors, UST versus Alpha Insurance, and then FEU. DN Steel facing off against the Signal Super Spikers 2, 4, and 6 p.m. So check out the action when we come back here inside the Paco Arena. And that will do it for your Wednesday crew. For Miss Denise Valdez Sancho, for Coach Ronnie Magsono, I'm Carlo Pamintuan. We thank you for your continued support of men's volleyball. This is your 2025 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference.